So the good part is I did not have cancer.
Well, that's wonderful news. Thank
And
you
the
for sharing that here on this platform.
bad part is everyone thought and believed I had cancer.
Welcome to Success Decoded. I'm your host, Taylor Elizabeth, an emotional intelligence and self-development coach passionate about helping individuals uncover their true potential, build their confidence, and create meaningful success. This podcast is not just about achievements, titles, or material success. It's about exploring the deeper, often overlooked factors that contribute to extraordinary accomplishments. In each episode, I sit down with inspiring individuals from a variety of backgrounds to uncover their choices, habits, and mindsets that have shaped their journeys. Together, we explore the story behind the success, diving into resilience, emotional growth, curiosity, and other essential elements that often go unnoticed, but are crucial to living a truly fulfilled and impactful life. Get ready to decode the real keys to success, and let's embark on this enlightening conversation together. Today, we're not just looking at the accolades or milestones. We're diving deeper. We're exploring the mindset, the tenacity, and the personal battles that shape those who have carved their path against the odds. And there is no better guest to have this conversation with than Prem Soni. From directing emotionally impactful films to facing life-altering changes, Prem's journey is one of raw determination, deep self-reflection, and a relentless drive to keep creating. Welcome to the show, Prem. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
So I'll start with when we were doing some research on you and we were looking at everything, what I loved the most was the energy that I found. Everything out there had such love is what I thought about. Love of life, love of what you do, love of helping others. Come to find out that's what your name means, which is phenomenal. And now I'm thinking about maybe my next child, I'll be naming him Prem because it's amazing. So you're going to learn a lot today. Everyone, you're going to learn a lot today about how to love life, how to love the whole journey of life. So let me start asking the first question. So you've worked with some of the biggest names in the industry, but your journey didn't start with connections or necessarily taking the easy path. Take us back to those early days. What was your first real taste of rejection, and how did it shape your mindset moving forward?
Okay. I started very early at the age of 19. As I remember, my first job was $500 a month, which was literally nothing, but it gave me an opportunity to get a job. I was very new in India. I came from Spain. Had studied there, and it was just an opportunity. I walked in for an interview. Someone said, "There's an opportunity for job out here. Would you like to try?" And I entered, and I did not have any experience in films or television or any background in films. I walked in with an interview, and the boss, my boss then, who was a celebrity, looked at me and he started laughing. At 19, perhaps I used to look like 14. And he said,
Listen,
"Boy."
it's better to look younger now, right? So I would take it. I would take it.
So he said, "Boy, are you up for a job?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm happy to work." He said, "What can you do?" I said, "Anything I can, which I understand or I've been taught, I can learn fast. And I'm sharp, I'm confident." He said, "Have you ever worked in films or television?" I was like, "No." And he said that, "How are you going to manage this?" I said, "I know one thing, my presence of mind. I know one thing, if I take up something, I'll give my best and I will not let you down." So there it started. My mentor, Mr. Sanjay Khan. I went on to become the casting director of the hugely popular series Jai Hanuman, which made a lot of money and a lot of name. And I had never done casting before. I never knew anything about TV or films. And he gave me the opportunity and the confidence to begin with that. And that was it. I made a lot of name for myself. I climbed the ladder. I struggled, adjusted, but finally, I realized this is my place. I want to be here. And that's how I began.
That's amazing.
I went on to do a lot of television then. Very few people know that I was the youngest producer and director on television at the age of 23. I
That is so young.
Yeah, very young. I produced television series with an ensemble cast, which were very big and popular at that time on television. I produced it, but that time there was no social media. There was no way you could blow your own trumpet.
Right.
So it was you used to work, and there was no place you could say I am the youngest or I'm doing that, and I did not have a backing. I came from a very humble background. My family is very humble, so I didn't know. I kept working, but I never got the praise or appreciation for it. But I went on. I was like, I need to do my job. I'm getting opportunities, and I kept doing television for 3 to 4 years. But I was very sure that I wanted to enter Bollywood. I wanted to make movies. The good thing about me was I used to visualize a lot of people and their stories. I used to look at homes as a child, and I used to figure out, oh, what would be happening inside that house? What would be the story?
Curiosity and creativity.
Yes, and it used to keep telling me stories in my head. So maybe I was a psycho then. I don't know, or maybe I was just very intuitive. And I started writing, and I started understanding that this is what I want to do. A lot of people at that point of time who met me in my journey kind of told me it's difficult to be here in this industry. You need connections. You need someone who's backing you, or it's a tough world and you're too naive.
There must have been many times there where you doubted yourself. Maybe not fundamentally, because you brought up something amazing, which is you know yourself, you know your value, you know your character, and you know what you will deliver because you know who you are, right? That's a huge thing. But there has to be, because we're human, there has to be some element of you're hearing a lot of noise on the outside, especially when you're younger and we're more influenced because we
Right.
don't have the experience, right? So you're hearing a lot of noise. Oh, but it's so difficult. Oh, but you're so young. Oh, but you don't have a background in this. And that real confidence, that self-esteem, that self-assurance comes from, I think, knowing yourself, which is what you said, which is amazing. But where else did you draw from to have that confidence to keep on going despite everything?
But the journey was very difficult. It wasn't easy because you don't belong from a place of this sort. I did not have a huge financial backing too. I mean, I had to run my own kitchen. I had to do things. I saw a lot of rejections. I went through a lot of depressing times too. Every time I used to fall down, and twice I even thought of running away and saying I will not want to do this job. But somehow this job kept pulling me back. Anything and everything else I was trying to do was more difficult than doing this. So I was like, okay, if it's going to be hard, if it's going to be a struggle, let it be. Let me just keep walking. Sometimes even breakdowns were a part of it. Crying alone was. I was too innocent then, very naive, honestly. And I thought that world is a good place. People are all very nice. Certainly, they are all very nice, but business is different.
Yes, business can definitely be different.
That I learned in time.
So you're inspiring people today, that's for sure. But if you had to say you had one tip to give them in those moments where you fell down, you know, I know people say, oh, I always stood back up. Okay, I always stood back up. But you talked about 2 times when you were thinking about just quitting, you know, and that's
Right.
it. What made you say, you know, you said the journey on the other way could have been more difficult, but there had to be something else in you that was like, okay, this is it. So maybe somebody out there is hearing, okay, what? What made this person, after so many different steps, and he was so honest with us about that whole process, what made him keep on going? What is that one thing that you told yourself or that someone told you or that you would like to tell the audience today?
I guess I was too adamant. I was too adamant.
Passion.
I was too adamant of doing it against all odds. There was nothing in favor of me. Like literally nothing. In fact, there has been nothing in favor of me still yet. And I still keep fighting for it. But I was adamant. I did see myself being this director. I saw myself doing some great jobs.
Amazing.
And I did wanted to fulfill that for myself and for my mother. My mother believed in me a lot more. And she said, yeah, you can.
Of course she
can.
did.
Yeah.
She knows. Your mother knows. Your mother
yeah.
always knows, right?
Yeah, so that was one thing. So if I have to tell anyone out there who is going through a similar phase of life or doubting themselves, you'll always fall and you'll always make mistakes, terrible ones.
Yes.
Like terrible ones. just do yourself a favor, forgive yourself.
Very good.
Because
Amazing.
by forgiving yourself, you'll have the courage to try again.
Yes, amazing.
By blaming yourself, you will lose what you can achieve.
Yes. I think your father definitely knew what he was doing when he decided to name you love, because the self-love that you're talking about is everything. You know, you have to choose to love yourself,
Yeah.
even in those worst moments, and then that will help you get back up. Many people, speaking related to the points where you felt like you couldn't go forward and you almost quit, many people see setbacks as reasons to quit, and that's normal. It's human. But for you, they became fuel, which is what you've been talking about. How did you stay focused on your vision and your passion when the doors were not opening as quickly as you'd hoped, or maybe at all?
Oh, there were days I slept it out.
Self-love again. Sometimes you need the self-love.
There were days I slept it out. There were days I'm like, oh, damn, forget it. There were days like, okay, I will just go for this meeting. There were days like, oh, I've been judged, looked down upon, felt not wanted. There were days.
Of course.
And then there were days when there was a spark. Somebody in between said, oh, you are sharp. You can make it.
Mhm.
So it was a mix of a lot of things that kept happening with me. One thing that I really like or I really love is my job. I love making movies. I love telling stories. I love when people watch a film and they get emotional.
Amazing.
So I love that. So for the love of that, I said, okay, I have this one life. I have to anyways live it because whatever is written for me will happen. Why don't I just do something that can make others also feel some emotion? So for that, I kept going on.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Again, in love, for sure. Okay, your work often carries emotional depth, which is a great segue to this, whether it's in a film or a music video, which is amazing for that as well, too. So many different platforms here, or a digital platform. What message do you hope people take away from your body of work?
Usually when what I try to do, I cannot say I'm doing it because we're still in the process of doing so much that we really want to deliver to the people out there. What I try to do is I bring out the human complexes whereby there is a positive outcome to it. There is a result to it that can look like a shining sun out there that you can see a good day. So I try and make those kind of stories. We all have a lot of grays in us. We have a lot of things that we don't like about the other person or with us. So I try and put those stories in place, whether it's through drama, it's through a love story, it's about two people, it's about a mother son or anything. I just feel that films in general is a medium for you to learn something out of it and get inspired by. I mean, of course, in an entertaining way because we are not here for philosophy. But at the same time, if it can give something back to you, even a hope, a small hope, even feeding a child on the street, if it shows you that kind of humbleness, that's what I try and do.
Yeah. You want to reach out to people's humanity.
Yes.
Make them feel more human, and also connectivity is what I
Sure.
hear as well. So
Sure.
and the whole human experience, right? Which is a lot of gray, but there's a lot of sunshine also.
Absolutely.
And I think you've probably through your work, at least what I've seen of it, you've shifted a lot of people's perspective to really look for that sunshine, right? Because that's perception, right? It's perspective and perception.
Hope so.
Yeah, I think you have. Okay, so let's talk about one of the most defining chapters of your life. That being when you were diagnosed with cancer, just as your film was about to release. That must have been a huge upheaval in your life. How did it challenge your sense of purpose? And how did you find the strength to keep going?
Actually, I will take the opportunity to clarify something out here through this platform. I was in the midst of a very, very tough film to finish. I was completely consumed by it. It was day in, day out, trying to put that film together to finish the filming, and it was challenging in a lot of areas to do that. In midst of that, when the work was so heavy on me, I collapsed. And during that point of time when I collapsed, I was being taken to the hospital. I had to get myself checked. And there was the possibility of being diagnosed with cancer. So it was to do with my gallbladder.
Okay.
And there was a possibility that it could be. It shattered a lot it shattered me a lot, obviously, and my family. And we were going through the midst of figuring out what exactly is the problem. And it was all out there in press. Everyone printed it that I am not well, and my film was up for release. And this is what I'm going through. The calls start coming in to my mother, to me, and I wasn't sure what's going on. My father was very upset about it. We went to for a second opinion, wanting to get understanding of what exactly the stage is, the problem is. So there is a pro and a con in the story. There's something good and something bad about it. So the good part is I did not have cancer.
Well, that's wonderful news.
And
Thank you for sharing that here on this platform.
the bad part is everyone thought and believed I had cancer. And that was very tough. So I had an issue with my stomach, which I was being diagnosed with. I was medically being admitted, been going through the recoveries. So obviously that was not the perfect time for me to go out and call the press that I want to talk. Simultaneously, at that point of time, my family got very, very upset and said that you're not talking about anything, you're not coming to the public eye, you're not speaking about anything, you need to first get fit to speak about it. And I did not have cancer, and I was feeling very bad that I have been told, said, printed as I have it. The moment I was recovering, I lost my dad. And that was a very, very big blow to me. So, sometimes in life you go through such kind of a time that you really don't know what to do, what is right, what is wrong. At that point of time, what felt right to me was just to shut up and leave. And that's what exactly I did. My mother said, we don't want to talk to anybody. We don't want to speak to anyone. You don't have to give interviews about this. This is ridiculous. You're fine. Your health is okay. That's what matters to us the most. So my close people, my family did know I had nothing, but I did not have the courage to go up out there and talk about it in press, considering I had lost my father and I had gone through a severe depression.
That's a very difficult time. You probably felt like you didn't have the energy, and maybe even, I mean, I think at this point you had taken some time, right? Is this a time that
I took a break for 4 years.
Okay.
I disappeared.
Okay.
It was too difficult for me. It was too heavy for me. My film released, it did not do well. The pressure of a film was there. I saw myself failing. I saw my father leaving. I saw I've been told that I'm not well. My mother was very upset about it because obviously a mother wouldn't like that her son would be going through all of this and being diagnosed when he's not. So it was a very difficult time. So I decided of just completely going away. But today I really want to clarify. I did have an issue, a health scare. It was not as huge as it was being printed.
I think it takes a lot of courage to talk about something that was traumatic for you, even if it's not cancer. That's a health risk at a time when there's a lot of pressure professionally, but then a huge personal loss, the loss of your father. So it's a lot. And then also to be I love this theme of humanity through this conversation, also in your work, showing humanity, that you just took time because you were not there. And I think that's probably one of the biggest takeaways for everybody listening for success here. The Success Decoded is that sometimes you're not strong enough, and it's okay if you're not strong enough. You need to take the time to do it. And in that moment, you weren't strong enough, and it's okay. Yeah. But now you're taking the power, if you will, and saying, you know what? I'm taking ownership of this, that this is something that I wish that they had not started talking about and that had been righted, and you're writing it. So that's fantastic.
And I didn't even know how this came out because, I was just in the midst of film and I was in the hospital. The reports just came out that it could be a possibility. We will be diagnosed, we'll be doing tests and stuff like that. It just came out and it just blew me off completely. Yeah, I was like, okay, because you know what? At that point of time, I really thought I might be having it.
Yeah, of course. Well, you don't know either.
Yeah, I didn't know. And for me, more important was to figure out, do I have it? And if I do have it, what's going to happen to my family?
Right. How do you deal with that? That's also something
that else. Was my priority. That was everything that I wanted to take care of. I didn't even care about myself, honestly, at that point of time. I didn't care about films. I didn't care about career. I didn't care about anything. I just cared about I should be okay to take care of my mom and dad at this point of time because it'll shatter them. Yeah, it'll break them. And is this true?
Right.
Is this really happening?
It's a lot to take on at one time. So it's understandable that in that moment, if you don't want to address it, and then if you need to take time afterwards, it's very understandable. So speaking about coming back, so we often hear about a comeback story, but rarely do we talk about those quiet moments in between, right? Which I think is where the real power,
Right.
is, and I guess the real success is.
Right.
If you were to reflect on this now, just talking about what you were talking about, what did those moments, just if you want to give us one thing, that those moments of stillness, what did it teach you about yourself?
To begin with, I'm very glad it happened to me.
Mm.
I'm extremely glad that this happened, and I learned a lot about myself. I cried a lot. I went through a severe depression. I even thought of contemplating to end my life at that point of time. I was weak, fragile. There was so much going on. Like I said, I started off in Bollywood in a very big way. I had the biggest stars in my film. It was one of the biggest films I was doing. So you can understand the kind of affection and attention at that point of time I was getting. Every second person wanted to sign me on as a director. Everyone wanted to work with me. They were offering me obscene amount of money. So I was like, I'm sorted, Prem. I'm sorted. This is going to be a great life. And I'm going to have it all. And I will take my time to sign. Was a mistake. I should have signed 2 films at that point in time, which I did not. Learning number 1. Learning number 2. I remember when my film was releasing, before The Fate came out, a lot of people and these actors were calling me up saying that, oh, you're doing our film. We want to work with you. We will be doing this together. You're brilliant. We're happy you're here. I mean, you come from nowhere. A lot of people were jealous too, that they believed I don't deserve it. Why am I at this place where these big people are working with me or putting money on me? And I was going through all of that. When it did not do well as is expected to be, I saw a different side to everybody. They all disappeared.
Yes.
It disappeared. That was a bit challenging for me. And then after that, the second film, and I lost my father. So for me, I was like, okay, nothing seems real out here. I mean, the friends that I thought are friends of mine are not. And that's what the nature of business is, I guess. And I don't feel bad about it today. But those 4 years, I've cried. I've also cursed.
Yes,
I've gone through a lot of stuff to come to understand that I'm stupid. I am just getting into this rat race, this game, and understanding myself through the perception of others, which was important for me spiritually, humanly, professionally, to learn to come back stronger.
Come back to self, yeah. Amazing. So through resilience taught you to come back to yourself, which is how we started this whole conversation about how, because at that 19-year-old boy that was there for that first job interview, he knew himself, at least some core things, because he could say that you were going to deliver your full attention, your full dedication.
I thought I'm going to be a huge star. I'm going to be like so big that everyone's going to watch me. And I saw, okay, I need to still understand life and professionalism better. And I'm glad I did that.
So the resilience and a lot of learning lessons.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the tough way, but sometimes those are the most poignant ways. And I find everyone that's been on Success Decoded has moments like this. The details are different, but it's like that real perspective shift that you're like, okay, this gave me something. Would I liked it to have been given to me differently? Yes. But this gave me, it's a huge gift and you would not give it back, right?
True.
So it's Bollywood is known for its relentless pace and high expectations, which you were just talking about. How do you protect your mental health while navigating such a demanding industry?
I don't take anything seriously, is my mantra.
I think that's a great life mantra. Don't take it too seriously.
Because I am doing a job. I'm working. I would be working in any industry for that matter. Tomorrow I could be in IT, in banking, in films, anywhere. There are pressures in every industry. And I'm sure there are a lot more stories out there. I'm not the only one who has a story. Everyone must be having that, right? Yeah. So now I've understood that, okay, success and failure are temporary. They are not forever. You know what's permanent is the positivity, the love that you carry inside and the goodwill you have. Yes. If you have the goodwill between people, within people, so tomorrow if you speak something bad about me, and I know you're speaking bad about me, it's easy for me to come around and say that, oh, I know you're doing this. I choose not to. I feel, what's the difference between you and me then? I will just stay quiet and it'll come around. So now I don't take things seriously. So today, if I'm successful, I might not be very happy. I'll be happy, but not very happy. If I'm a failure, I'll still not be sad. I'll be like, okay, at least I'm trying.
Yes.
And I need to try, because if I don't try, who else is going to try for me?
What is Bollywood according to you? How do you define it?
Okay, it's been more than like 18 years in this industry now, and I have seen quite a lot of downs and a bit of ups too. For me, Bollywood is a great industry. I mean, I know the whole noise around it right now that's going on, that oh, it's nepotistic, it's got this, Bollywood is preferring this to that, and they don't even make good films anymore. A lot of stories are floating around, but let me just tell you out of my experience what I've seen. I don't have greatest experiences, obviously, because I also come from an outside world. So no, I don't have a backing, I don't have a godfather here. But I must tell you this, Bollywood is a great industry. It's a great place. It allows you to come here and live your dream. And if you're true to that dream, one day will be yours. The industry is very good. It gives you life, it gives you career, it gives you love, recognition, fame, money, everything. Some people in Bollywood are not good. That's the whole thing.
Like in the world, right?
Yes. So
Not
you
the whole
cannot
thing.
blame Bollywood for those some sort of people. That's in every industry. I mean, if you can really analyze it, and if you can see it clearly with a peaceful mind, you'll know you have a place here if you really believe. You will. So Bollywood is great according to me. I mean, it gives you an opportunity. It'll give more chances to a lot more people. Everybody who's in Bollywood was once an outsider. Honestly, negativity and a statement negative has too many takers.
Yes, that's true.
A lot of people will watch it for that. I don't think it's right though. I mean, if I'm going to point a finger at you, being in the same industry, I think I should look within.
Yes.
Why am I here then?
Yeah. Good question. Always look within. That's a huge takeaway, everyone. First, it starts with yourself, right? So you've spoken before about Salman Khan being a support pillar for you. Will you talk a little bit more about your relationship?
Let me take you back a little for you to understand what my relationship with Mr. Salman Khan is. During the period of when I was trying to make a movie, I kind of was struggling. I had written a script. I was going with that script from every office to every actor to speak to them, see if I can get a chance. There were too many rejections. Too many people were saying things like, "Oh, what is in you? No, you should go back to Spain. This is not your place. You don't belong here." Blah 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 blah. I finally landed up a film. I landed up a film that I was making, which was called Coffee with a K.
Okay.
And this was in 2001 and 2. When I was making that film, there was a huge superstar down south, Shobana. She was acting in it. And along with that, Kiran Kher was in it. We were in Ooty. We were filming. And as luck could have it, and my struggles could have it, the film got shelved.
Really?
We were stuck in a hotel, not having money to go back. The producers put their hands up. And we were stuck, and I was like, traumatic. The whole crew was on me, and the crew came to do this film only for me, and they were practically working for free because they loved the script. So it was a big blow, and it was not going well. So the film got shelved. Then I kept struggling. I went to every actor, everywhere. People rejected, said that no. And finally, somebody got me introduced to Salman Khan. And that someone I'll speak a little later, because I would want to give the credit to that person, which I've never spoken till date about. Okay. So I met him, and the first time he saw me, and he said, "Okay, you've come through this person, so I'll give you a chance. I will listen to your story. I just have 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, if I find something interesting about it, I'll go through the narration, or else I will not be able to give you more time," which was absolutely fine. And I said, "Okay, great." And I narrated him, and he sat for 2 hours. And he said, "It's beautiful, and I will do it. I will also produce it." That's how it began. So my life changed. Obviously, it was a process for me also to understand that such a huge star is working with me after everybody rejected me. And the smallest actor rejected me. So I was like, "God, you're kind. You're beautiful. I must keep going on." So somewhere, luck is by my side. So we started working, everything happened, the film was getting made. He was just amazing. I mean, contradictory to whatever I was being told, he's a superstar, he is moody. No, he's lovely. He's actually lovely. If you are real with him, he's so real with you.
Fantastic.
Because he just wants that from you. That's honesty. That's 18 years back. From then, I know him till now. Now, my relationship with him is not about work. I love him from the bottom of my heart. If I have to choose between work and to be in his life till my death, I would choose to be with him.
So he's beyond a mentor now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even, I don't want to put this as a working relationship. I don't. I mean, obviously, he's lovely. Working with him is a pleasure. Will always be a pleasure for me. But that's not all between him and me. He's given me so much love and respect as a writer. He used to always keep telling me, "You're a fabulous writer. You make great scripts." In between all these years when I was not working, he was the one saying that, "What's wrong with you? You should be working. You should be coming back." And honestly, even today, he was the one who wants me to again start writing and coming back, and I'm doing it. I'm making movies.
Yes.
So for me, my relationship with him is so pious and so pure that I don't want it to be, adulterated by any meaningful or manipulative work stuff. So I keep telling him very clearly, "I love you.
Yes.
And I'm very glad in this life I met you. And I would like this to be this way."
I think there's so much there. That's wonderful to hear. The energy of it is wonderful. But I think what's probably the most poignant thing for me as an emotional intelligence coach, and also just the way that we've had this conversation, we want to live life, is it's so important that this person is incredibly powerful and he's incredibly talented and very successful. But again, it's the humanity part of it where he said, you have the talent, you can do it. He had confidence and faith in you. So it really just takes that one person. Now, in this case, it's a superstar, but you don't have to be a superstar to make that change for somebody else, right?
For me, he's a superhuman.
Superhuman. Yeah,
he's
superhuman.
A superhuman. I mean, superstar is okay.
Yeah.
There are too many superstars in this country. Superhuman is something I will take back with me.
Yeah.
The kindness, I will take that back with me. For me, in my darkest days, when I get a call from him saying that, "Oh, spring up.
Yeah.
You have it in you.
You have it in you. See, he believes
Don't
in
do
you.
this."
See, I think that is the most important thing, is to be. I think everyone out there, you should be that person for somebody else, right?
Exactly.
Be that person, because you read this everywhere. One thing can change somebody's life, but really, it really can. That faith in somebody else can change somebody's life. And I would imagine, as successful of a human being as he is, I'm sure that he probably values this more than anything else, the positive impact that he has had in people's lives. And he probably would never, I can imagine just being able to give to the world, change one life is huge.
Absolutely.
This is, if we can do nothing else, be able to contribute positively to this world and to change one life, to empower somebody else, right? This is amazing. So we've heard that you have close associations with Priyanka Chopra. During the onset of your career, I believe is when that relationship started. Is that correct? And can you tell us about this friendship?
Priyanka Chopra was a very close friend of mine in my life. This was when she had just begun her career. And also, she's a very kind-hearted person. Let me mention that. We practically lived in each other's homes daily. Like, we used to hang together, talk together. I used to see her grit, confidence, courage, and the upbringing, which was amazing, like really outstanding. I used to get inspired by her. So here to mention, she was the one who had got me introduced to Salman Khan. She was the angel, in my life. She was the one who had picked up my hand and said, "Come, I'll take you to Salman and he will do your film. I have amazing amount of confidence in that." And she proved herself right. I have seen her so closely and her family that I have these lingering beautiful memories still in my life. I must mention, her father Ashok uncle was the most kind-hearted man I'd ever seen. Anytime and every time we used to walk into her house at that point of time, Madhu auntie and Ashok uncle used to lay a table of breakfast, lunch, dinner and say, "You have to eat. You cannot not eat." And there was beautiful food served all the time. That was her father. The most kind-hearted soul. And I do think she has his blessings. Something he knew already about her, that he imbibed such beautiful, nice things in her. At times I miss those memories, those moments of sitting on that table and eating with the family. So for me, Priyanka Chopra is very special, extremely special. She is instrumental in me walking in this film industry, in this life. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. I think seeing the spirit, the energy, the positivity, the kindness, the humanity of her parents in her.
See, till now, and no one knows in this industry that she was the one who got me introduced to Salman Khan.
Wow,
So
amazing.
for me, I need to give her that credit.
That's
She needs to
amazing.
have it.
So that's
Yeah.
amazing. And she is wonderful. So
Yeah, she is beautiful. Yeah.
thank you for sharing that with us
Beautiful,
today. We
beautiful.
really appreciate it. Okay, so since we're on Success Decoded, I'm going to ask you for our audience, can you decode success? What is the mystery behind it?
I think success is what you believe in yourself for, what you think you are, not what people perceive you as or judge you as. If you can come to terms with that and give yourself the best shot again and again, that's what I think success is.
Amazing. Well, as an emotional intelligence coach, I would agree with you because that's self-awareness and that's where everything starts, right? You can't be successful at life in general if you don't know yourself, right? And
Right.
you have to believe in that part.
Yeah.
When you know who that is, you have to be like, okay, I'm either going to grow and develop and change, or I'm going to accept this. But either way, I have to live with it and I have to succeed in it. So
Sure.
fantastic. Okay, so you reinvented yourself many times throughout your career, and I don't think it's over with yet, right?
No, I don't think so too.
I have a feeling it's
No,
not
it's
over
not
with
over.
yet.
I will have to keep reinventing myself till the time I'm living on this planet.
Yeah,
So,
of course. Yeah,
that's a
it's more fun
process.
that way anyway,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it'll never get boring this way. What advice would you give to someone who is considering a pivot but feels paralyzed by fear or doubt?
There's something called positivity. Invest your energy there. Trust me, the moment you start seeing things positively, the shift will happen.
How do you see things? How do you yourself see things positively?
So, okay, just for example, I am going for a job and I have not got that job. And on the contrary, the person sitting across has told me, "You are not even good for this job. Why did you apply?" Okay, there are two options I have, right? I will abuse this guy in my mind and I'll say, "Oh, damn, you don't even know who you are and what you're doing and what you're saying, and how dare he said that to me, and this and that." And I'll have these thoughts and I'll come back home and I'll say, "I'm not going for another interview for the next 3-4 days. I need to find myself at peace." The other option is I smile. I'm like, okay, destiny has something better planned for me. If I'm going to choose to invest my energy in the second thought, believe me, it is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Sooner or later, that job will be lesser for me because I'll have a better job to do.
Amazing. So you're giving your brain you're doing many things there. Choosing positivity is choosing your growth over your ego.
Believing that nothing bad is going to happen to me. If it is also at this point of time,
Yes.
at this stage, there might be something that I must have not done right, which I need to correct. Number one, of course, I must do that. But at the same time, accusing somebody else or putting myself into this kind of a rubbish conversation towards myself is not where I'm going to grow.
Right.
So do I want to grow or do I want to fall?
Right, exactly. And you don't want to keep on falling, right? Not intentionally, not intentionally. Yeah. So it's a great growth mindset, and exactly success. And from a neuroscience thing as well, is that if you're thinking positively about things, those things will actually actualize because your brain believes what you tell it.
Absolutely.
So choose the positive things. Why would you tell your brain something negative? Okay, so your films are known for their emotional depth and the ability to connect on a very human level. What role has storytelling played in your own healing and growth?
Yeah, quite a major one. Like I said earlier in this interview, so like a child, as I was a child, I used to keep seeing every window, walking in every building and seeing what's happening in that house, what's the story, right? And I used to make stories in my head. So I was kind of crazy since the child. I mean, that's why perhaps I'm writing, because it's all my frustration getting out, I guess. So when I did that and I started living those characters, now that when I put it in my job and I write it, I'm complete. Amazing. Because now I deliver writing something and that story is out of my system completely. So that's what I do.
Amazing. Would you say this is maybe part of your healing journey as well?
Yes, certainly, because we're born in this world. There are a lot of stigmas we must be dealing with. As a child too, we don't understand so much. We don't even apply that much of a brain, and we are being conditioned to speak in a certain way, to behave in a certain way. There's so many things. So our energy is focused into that, but there might be stigmas around that. When you start putting those stigmas unconsciously, into some sort of work that you're doing, it will heal you.
This is almost like what we say in emotional intelligence and etiquette coaching is it's the journaling process. It's like you are journaling something very creative because you're getting everything out in it and you're creating something out and you're putting it out into the world. So you're getting it out of the subconscious, out of what's in your mind and putting it out there for others to actually appreciate and enjoy.
Right.
So you're creating beauty, but also healing.
Exactly.
So that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could tell a story to your younger self, the one just starting out in the industry, that 19-year-old, what would that story be?
Make more mistakes and be happy about it.
Great. Do you have a moment that stands out, a message or a reaction from a fan, maybe that made you realize that your work was making an impact?
Yeah, there was one. I remember it very clearly. So there was an old lady, and I was in Chandigarh, in India. There was an old lady who came up at a shopping mall to me, and I mean, it's very rare. People don't really recognize me as a director because my face is not that popular. I'm not an actor, and I've not been so actively involved in social media things also. So she walked up to me and she said, "Are you the director?" And she was an old lady, must be around 65, 70 years old, I'm sure, but she was very pleasant looking. And I kind of first thought that should I tell her a yes or no? What is this all about? I'm not sure. I said, yes, I am. She said, did you make that film, Mayor Mrs. Khanna? So I said, yes. And she said, I want to say thank you to you. And I said, why would you do that? She said, my daughter went through a betrayal and a very bad divorce. She actually healed watching that story because she resonated with the girl of your film. It made a huge amount of difference in her life. So it is not about how well or not well you're doing or your films are doing. It made a difference to my daughter's life. Thank you. And she left.
Amazing. I have goosebumps from that.
Yeah.
I have goosebumps from that story. I mean, it's wonderful to make a positive impact. And like we said, you can just change and impact somebody's life positively, then you've succeeded, right?
Yeah.
That's a story of success. Well, thank you so much. We've covered a lot of ground today. I've loved it immensely, and we've learned a lot of new things that have never been spoken about. So I'm really grateful for that you felt comfortable to do that here. So thank you very much to do that. So this is our signature segment. It's called the rapid fire. I promise I'll go easy on you, okay? So I'm going to throw out some quick questions your way, and I want you to say the first thing that comes to mind. So don't overthink it.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Okay.
Okay, genuine here, okay?
Okay.
So one actor you'd like to cast to play in your biopic.
In my biopic, Ranbir Kapoor.
Amazing. Last time you cried watching something.
Oh, I saw this film of Rani Mukherjee, Mrs. Chatterjee versus Norway. Such a beautiful film.
I'll have to see that one. I haven't seen it.
It just made me so emotional and so real and so beautiful. She's just one of the most outstanding actors, I think.
Amazing. Your real life hero outside the industry.
I would say Mr. Narendra Modi. I respect him a lot.
Amazing. A film you wish you had directed.
Tamasha, Imtiaz Ali's. I love that film. I think it's such a genius piece of work. Yeah.
Who is more intimidating on set, an A-list actor or your mother watching your work?
This is a no-brainer, A-lister.
I think we got that from what you spoke about your mother. Okay, who's your go-to comfort movie when you need inspiration?
I love this movie, Life is Beautiful. It's an Italian film.
Yes.
I love it. It's like my all-time favorite.
It is. I remember the first time I saw that movie. I can see it now, and I've seen it so many times, and it still moves me every time.
Yeah.
The most spontaneous creative decision you ever made?
Becoming a director.
Yes, I was about to say that 19-year-old when he walked into that. Okay, one actor you'd love to direct next.
Vicky Kaushal. I think he's outstanding. He's an underdog. He's going to be huge. He is so much potential.
Amazing. One thing people misunderstand about the film industry.
Like it's a bad place. Some people are bad, not the place.
Amazing. Okay, so please finish the sentence. People think I'm, but actually I'm.
People think I'm naive, but no, I'm kind.
Okay. And that's a choice. Kindness is a choice, and it is a very courageous and beautiful one. What is a piece of advice you'd give your younger self right now?
Oh, indulge in more drama. Come on. Let life go on.
Mine is the same. Mine is like, please don't take yourself so seriously
Yeah.
because it's really not
Yeah,
worth
come
it.
on,
in the
let it be
end.
dramatic.
Let it be a little
Yeah,
bit.
let's
Yeah,
live
exactly.
more.
Well, thank you so much for being on today. This was
Pleasure.
beyond an enjoying
I
segment.
loved it.
I loved it. I loved learning more about you. I loved the generosity that you shared with us. So thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
everything. It was
Thank
really
you.
an
It was
honor.
lovely, beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Prem, thank you so much for sharing your raw and powerful insights. Your story is a powerful reminder that success isn't a straight line. It's a series of moments, decisions, and challenges that shape who we become. Prem has shown us that success isn't only about applause or accolades. It's about the quiet, resilient choices that we make in the shadows when no one else is watching, when it would be easier to give up. It's about finding grace amidst the uncertainty and staying anchored in your truth, even when the world around you feels unpredictable. For everyone listening, take a moment to think about your own elegant virtues, those core values that keep you grounded, that help you rise when life knocks you down, whether it's resilience, compassion, or courage. Let those virtues guide you in redefining what success means to you. Prem, it's been an honor having you on Success Decoded. Thank you for reminding us that no matter how many times life rewrites our script, we can always find a way to reclaim the narrative. Until next time, keep pushing forward, keep telling your story, and keep redefining what it means to succeed.